One of my favorite things in the world to do is watch Friends. I know it's been off for years and years. It's not even around, but I still find myself binge watching old episodes. And I was thinking about this today and thinking, it's the predictability of the friends in the circle, right? You have Chandler with his quirkiness, Monica with her type A of just everything has to be so neat and tidy and organized. It's Phoebe's ability to make you laugh at her silly songs. Ross always comes in with those smart comments, and Joey and him and his food, like it is just so hilarious. And of course, Rachel, she just brings everybody together, and it's just such this beautiful, cohesive team of people. And it's why I wanted to come on and share with you today that I have an opportunity for you to find your friends in the content creation space. So if you are thinking about creating your first or your next digital course, I don't want you to miss this opportunity because Amy Porterfield just opened the doors for registration for her Course Confident Bootcamp. And I'm actually offering a special bonus for anyone that registers for the Course Confident Bootcamp through my special link. So I want you to go to crystalprofit.com/Amy-bootcamp to register. That's crystalprofit.com/Amy-bootcamp. And what you're going to find when you get there is I have this special bonus private podcast series. It's called Money Mindset for Creators. So I want you to go register for Amy's bootcamp, download the podcast, and immediately start listening to it, because what this training is set up to do is to help you get your mind right about monetizing your content, making money so that you can fuel your content creation dreams. So go to crystalprofit.com/Amy-bootcamp to register for Course Confident. And I cannot wait for you to find your friends and find the people that will be there for you. Do you see what I did there? Yeah, nice little friends segue connection. Go to crystalprofit.com/Amy-bootcamp. And I cannot wait to see you inside. Okay, let's get into today's episode. Okay, so before we get started today and dive into all the goodness that I have to share in today's episode, I wanted to tell you about something really special. So I've been working on something behind the scenes that I think you're going to be pretty excited about. Because if you've ever heard me talk about my digital course, Proffitt Podcasting, or my membership, The Potty People, well, you might just be interested to know that I'm creating a brand new program that smashes the two of those together. Yes, we're taking the best pieces of Proffitt Podcasting and the community aspect of the Potty People, and basically we're setting it all on fire and coming in blazing with a brand new program. And I'm so excited. So to learn more, go to crystalprofit.com/waitlist. I don't have all the details to share with you just yet, but if you want to get notified as soon as the new program is available, then you want to get on our waitlist. So again, go to crystalprofit.com/waitlist to find out all the details as soon as they're ready. Okay, let's get into today's episode. Okay, so did you ever have a time where you're like, I just need to get away? Like, I just need a long weekend. I just need a vacation to just recharge. I said that really weird. Recharge and re-energize myself. That is exactly what I did this last weekend. It was so much fun. My mom and I actually went away for the weekend with the sole purpose of planning out our 2021 goals. And I got to tell you, we actually did more than that. We did some 10-year planning. We did some 3-year planning. We did some 1-year planning. We know what we're going to do for the next quarter. And we just did so many things in this weekend. And it was really cool because her and I don't get to do that a lot. So it was a very fun bonding experience. But also, she lives in like North Texas in the Fort Worth area, and I live in the Houston area. So when we were talking about doing this back in September, I told her, I was like, we're going to have a weekend getaway sometime in Q4. When are we going to do this? What does this look like? And we looked at, okay, well, where is our middle ground? Where is somewhere that we can meet where I don't have to drive 4.5 hours to her house. She doesn't have to drive 4.5 hours to my house. And we landed on the map, and it was Waco. Waco, Texas is right in the middle for both of us. So we decided to have a girls' retreat and go to Magnolia, because who doesn't love Joanna Gaines and all of the amazing things that she does? So I reserved a VRBO for us, and we went with the intention of setting our goals, setting intentions for 2021 and what that was going to look like. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So let's get right to it. Welcome to the Proffitt Podcast, where we teach entrepreneurs how to start, launch, and market their podcast. I'm your host, Crystal Proffitt, and I'm so excited that you're here. Thanks for hanging out with me today, because if you've been trying to figure out the world of podcasting, think of this show as the time-saving shortcut you've been looking for. So let's get right to it, shall we? Okay, so like I said in the beginning, I am going to talk to you all about the business planning retreat that my mom and I had last weekend. So as of me recording this, it was last weekend. Technically, when you're hearing this, it's like 2 weekends ago, but you get like, it wasn't that long ago. Okay, that's really the important thing here, is it wasn't that long ago. My mom and I went off for a girls' weekend getaway. It was so awesome. I left early on a Friday, and my dad took the day off, and him and my mom went to Waco, and they kind of walked around. They were going to go to Magnolia. It was pretty busy by the time they got there. So they met me at our little cottage cabin that we rented. And then my dad actually took off to come to my house, and they had a boys' weekend because I have 3 boys and my husband. So he came down here. They went to the beach in Galveston. They went fishing. They had just a grand old boys' time, while my mom and I had a quiet retreat in this little cottage on the Brazos River. It was so perfect. And we knew that we couldn't go to Waco without going to Magnolia, and we hadn't been in like 2 years. So we decided to go get coffee at Magnolia Press and go look around. And so much has changed since the last time we were there. But we said, okay, we got to do it on Friday, because Saturday we're going to wake up and hit the ground running. We knew that we wanted to utilize all the time that we had together to really focus on the goals that we wanted to accomplish. So first and foremost, I want to tell you, because we're going to keep this super high level, like I'm not going to get into all of my goals and dreams for the next 10 years, but I did want to tell you that we took the book Traction. So if you've never heard of it, Traction by Gino Wickman. I had heard about this book from Amy Porterfield. She's talked about traction and rocket fuel before. And I bought Traction earlier this year with the intention of, okay, I'm just going to read it. Y'all, this is not this is a cutesy book. Let's read it and that's it. No. This is I'm going to buy this book and I'm going to take action, because if you are an entrepreneur, you need this book. Because I went to business school. Okay. I went to business school, and my husband went to business school. Like, he got his MBA, and like we learned all of these things very high level. But if you're like me and it's been 10 plus years since you were in college, then maybe you haven't revisited some of the things that are very crucial to the foundation of your business. And I needed to be reminded of some of the things that we often overlook as kind of like fluffy ideas, but we really need to pay attention to as business owners or people that are aspiring to have a business with our podcast. So I'm going to tell you again, Traction by Gino Wickman. It's going to be in the show notes, crystalproffitt.com/episode 205. That's where you're going to find this. And I just want to kind of walk through like a high level of what it is that this book is all about. So it's really for entrepreneurs. It's not for a traditional business model, because there are certain things that you have to do as the CEO, the COO, the founder of your business that doesn't just happen for you. Like if you work for a business, like for example, I used to be in corporate, and there were certain foundational pieces that were laid probably decades before I was there, my bosses were there, or anybody else. Like you had to have this vision for what this company was going to be. But you, as the entrepreneur, the founder of your company, you're the one that has to come up with this information, to come up with the vision for where you see your business going. So,
being a woman in business comes with its own unique set of challenges, but also so many opportunities. We get ahead by leaning in to what makes us different from business as usual. I'm Samantha Hartley, host of Profitable Joyful Consulting, inviting you to a special 6-episode series exploring the experience of being a woman in business. You want to hear from women consultants who've hit $1 million, who sell 6-figure engagements, or who've broken their own revenue ceilings? Yeah, those are my clients, and they'll be sharing too. Join me for 6 must-listen episodes that tackle key challenges for women consultants.
Follow Profitable Joyful Consulting on your favorite podcast app.
they have what's called, and I'm gonna get the name wrong. So they have, and this is their trademark name, and I love it so much. So it's the Vision Traction Organizer. You've got to go get this book because this graph alone is like, it's golden. Oh, it's so golden. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like I've thought about these things and I inherently know them about my business, but it was really important for me to write them down, to get them out of my head. And another thing I didn't tell you. So mom and I, we went off. We knew that we were going to go on this girls retreat, like business retreat. I went to Office Depot and I ordered the Post-it, like the big Post-it notes that you like put on the wall and you can rip off. I don't remember what they're called. It's actually right over in the corner. I'm like, I should go grab it. And we couldn't figure out what they were called, but I finally found it. But it's like the ones that you would put up on an easel and you can rip it off and go stick it on the wall. These are fantastic. And this is what we used all weekend. So every time we were like, okay, we need to decide on, for example, our core values. What are the core values going to be of our business? So we would write on the top of one of these papers, core values, and then we would start brainstorming, or we would start just writing things down. And once we were done, we would go stick it on the wall. And like the cottage didn't really have like 2 rooms per se, like that were separated by a door, but I took over a room, she took over another room, and we just had these papers all over the wall. It was so fun. And maybe this is just her and I are super nerdy, but we loved it so much because we could see like at the end of the day, we started at like 6 a.m. Maybe it was like 6:30 that morning. And we went until about 8 o'clock that night, like balls to the wall, going the entire time to figure out all of these really important pieces of our business. So one of the things that we figured out was our core values. And I'm not going to share everything with you just because you're probably not going to be as like excited about all this as I am. But I did want to share a few of the things that we figured out from our 10-year plan for Proffitt Media. So my business is Proffitt Media, and I am going to share with you my core values because I think that they're so fun. So one of ours is we don't just walk towards fun, we chase it. Like I thought this was good. Like I was like patting myself on the back. I'm like, that's a good one. Like we always got to have fun. And it's not just about like, oh, I kind of want to have fun. It's like, no. We chase fun down. We hunt it like a rabid wolf, because if you are not having fun, it is not worth it to be doing all the things that you're doing. The next one is authenticity is our top priority. Our next one is empathy, grace, and compassion are how we strive to hold space for everyone. We don't hide problems. We face them and walk through them together. Now, this is a really big one as I am, still in the beginning of building my business. And I want to make sure that the people and the contractors that I work with and people that I onboard onto my team understand from the very beginning, like we don't hide problems. We don't sweep things under the rug and pretend that they're not there. We face them and we walk through them together because that's how we get over, that's how we go from a problem to a solution is actually facing them and walking through them together. Another one that we have is we commit to always learning how we can become better leaders. This is really a core value for me, but it's also the type of people that I want to attract to my company. I want people that are listening to podcasts and they're reading business books and they are just genuinely curious about how they can be a better individual in life, like not just a business leader, but a leader in their family, in their community, and making a difference and not just kind of floating through a mediocre life. Like they want to accomplish something and they're very driven. Consistency is the key to total domination. This one was one that I thought of, and I wanted to say to total world domination, but that made me sound a little crazy. So I felt like Dr. Evil, like petting. What is the cat's name? Oh my gosh, this is going to drive me insane. I'm imagining Mike Myers, Dr. Evil, Austin Powers version, right? And he's like just petting the cats, like total world domination, $1 million. Oh my gosh. Okay. I just went down a weird rabbit tangent hole, whatever. Is a rabbit tangent hole? I'm just making stuff up at this point, y'all. But consistency is the key to total domination. And then value, service, and gratitude make up our North Star. So these are some of the things that we have established as a company as our core values. And again, I say this and I share this with you to let you know I don't have a whole team of people behind me. I don't have like 15 people that I have to go back and be like, oh, we came up with our core values. Here they are. Let me share them with you now. It's more about these are the type of people that I want to attract that have these same types of values or that agree, oh yeah, I like the sound of this company, or I like the way that they operate. I like the things that they focus on because I think that that's more important than just saying, oh, we like to have fun. Yeah, sure, we like to have fun. Yeah, we like to be authentic from time to time. No, like these are our guiding principles and our core values. So that was the first thing that we had to establish. Then we had to talk about our core focus. What are you focused on? What is your purpose? What is your niche? What is your passion? Why are you even doing this? And again, I want you to go grab this book, Traction by Gino Wickman. It is so helpful. And I'm going to recommend that you get the Kindle version or a hard copy. I'm a fan of the hard copy simply because you can look at it easier. I'm just more of I like tangible books or audiobooks, but I don't recommend an audiobook for this simply because it's so tactical and hands-on. I tried to listen to Rocket Fuel, their other book, and it was too hard for me because I would like listen to something and I want to stop and like go take notes right then. And that's a lot harder to do with an audiobook. So I would recommend getting the hard copy of this book. Go ahead and get Traction and Rocket Fuel at the same time. Like these could be, add them to your wish list for Christmas and say, this is what I want you to buy me, honey. Thanks so much. These are going to help me, get more focused on my business, on my podcast. But the core focus is really for us, for Proffitt Media, is we help entrepreneurs confidently share their message. So do you notice I didn't say we help entrepreneurs confidently with their podcast? Because my business, Proffitt Media, is more than just about podcasting, even though that's our main focus here. Like you are here to learn about podcasting, what it's all about and everything. But at the core of that, you want to share your message. So that's really what I want to hone in on going into 2021 and beyond, is helping people share their message, because a message is so much deeper than just a single podcast episode. A message is your whole podcast. A message is how you communicate with your audience in your emails, how you communicate with your audience on social media, through other marketing channels. So I really didn't want to kind of box myself into only talking about podcasting 24/7, although y'all know, like, that is my passion, that is my jam. But I also want to look at the bigger scale, like kind of zoom out with a bird's eye view on how I can help people with their message. So that is our core focus at Proffitt Media, is to help people with their message. Now, what is our niche, right? Like, what is the specific thing that I help people with? Is I help take the overwhelm out of podcasting. I do feel like that is my specialty. That is my secret sauce, is to take the overwhelm out of it and give you a step-by-step plan, a step-by-step strategy that you can follow that makes it easier. Because at the end of the day, yes, you could go Google everything that you've learned here on this podcast. You could go Google it and learn from 50 other people, but that doesn't mean you're going to be less overwhelmed. And it doesn't mean that you're going to be more confident after you watch 7 different YouTube videos from 7 different people and say, wait, this person was contradicting that one. This one says to do it this way. This one says to do it that way. And this one, interestingly enough, said to do it a totally different way. I want to take the overwhelm out of podcasting, where you don't have to think about it in terms of there's only one way to do it. Because there's not. Like, at the end of the day, there's not just one way to podcast. You will go find someone else, and they will tell you probably everything that contradicts everything I've shared with you here today, or ever on this podcast, or on my YouTube channel, or in my email list. They will say, no, we don't agree with what she says. But at the end of the day, my number one goal, my number one focus, my underlying everything of all the content that I put out is to take the overwhelm out of podcasting. That is my core focus. That is my purpose. It's my mission. It's my life. And I want to help entrepreneurs with their message. Now, there's a lot more information, like I said, going into your 10-year goal, your marketing strategy. Let me see. There's a 3-year plan, a 1-year plan. You get to figure out your quarterly rocks, and then you talk about issues that would probably come up. I'm not joking whenever I say we did this for a solid 12 to 14 hours straight. We did it. It took a long time. And I guess if you were doing this by yourself, maybe it wouldn't take so long, because we were kind of like pitching and catching. She would tell me an idea for her business. I'd tell her an idea for mine. So, there was a lot of in-betweens of ideas and brainstorming and things like that. But I think that it was so valuable to do it with someone else that understands my business and understands what I'm trying to accomplish, like long term, not just today, not tomorrow, not in the next year, but long term, what am I trying to accomplish? And so again, I'm just going to encourage you, go grab this book, Traction by Gino Wickman, and do every step of the process. So there are different paragraphs that tell you, okay, here's some examples of, they work with a lot of clients, and it'll say in there, well, our clients, and they'll give like 5 examples. These clients' core values are blah, blah, blah. And they'll give you all these examples. And then their core focus is this. And their 10-year target looks something like this. So they walk you through every step of the process, which is why the book is so important. And I can't just give you oh, here's the framework, go do it. Because we had to read, we were literally reading this book. I have note cards and Post-it notes all shoved into this book because we were reading it as we were going along. But January is coming up. January is right around the corner. And I don't want you to start thinking about your goals January 1. It's too late. If you're thinking and planning your goals on January 1, then you're already behind. And I'm the type of person that I never like to be late. Like if you show up on time, then you're late. I am in the school of thought of I need to be 10 to 15 minutes early everywhere I go because that means I'm on time. And if I show up, if I'm supposed to be there at 1:00 and I'm there at 1:00, I'm late. This is just the way my mind works. It's the way my mind has always worked. And my husband, it's like a catch-22 for him. Because I feel like so many women get like a bad rap for being late. And he's like, you're always on time, but you're always a real pain in the butt, like trying to get everybody out of the house to be on time. So it's definitely a double-edged sword. But when it comes to planning, especially in your business, I think that we should all start sooner rather than later. And if you're in the first 1 to 3 years of your business and you're like, I don't need to do that. I need to do that whenever I'm more successful, whenever I'm making more money, whenever I'm making any money, you're wrong. You're wrong. I'm telling you this right now. I wish I would have done this 2 years ago whenever I was first trying to figure out my business. Whenever I was first trying to figure out what do I need to do? What do I need to focus on? A lot of it feels like fluffy stuff, right? Everything I share with you, my core values, all that feels like you don't really need that to make money. It's true. You don't. You don't need to have a mission statement in order to throw something up for sale and actually make money. But at the end of the day, what will keep you from burning out is attracting the right customers, attracting the right people to work with you, attracting the right sponsors, attracting the right everybody to work with you. And you can't do that if you don't have your core values, you don't have your core focus, you don't know who you're targeting or what your specialty is. And this is why I believe that this is so important. So here's my challenge to you. I knew that I wanted to have like an action item, like after this episode was over. I want you to join us if you are not already in our free Facebook group. We have the Proffitt Podcast online community. You can find it in the show notes, crystalproffitt.com/episode 205. You're going to find a link to join us in the Facebook group. I want you to go into the Facebook group and say, hey, Crystal told me to tell you what my passion and my niche are. That's what I want you to do. I don't want you to go in and say, oh my gosh, I have to go buy this book and read it and do all the things. No. I do want you to do that. But my challenge for you is to join us in the Facebook group and say, my podcast purpose is, my niche is. Because they are two very different things. Remember, I'm going to share with you again. My purpose, my passion, my cause for my business is to help entrepreneurs share their message. That is my purpose. My niche is take the overwhelm out of podcasting. That is my purpose. And so all of my content, anything that I put out online, the underlying thread between everything is to help take the overwhelm out of podcasting. So join us in the free Facebook group. I want you to share your passion and your niche, and I cannot wait to see what you have to say. I'm so excited about this. So again, I'm going to say it again. Traction by Gino Wickman. Go grab it. I haven't even finished it, y'all. I haven't finished the book. I only finished this huge, big chunk of it that's really helped me. I have it in a Google Doc. I have my goals. I have my things that I'm planning for all of 2021. And I feel like it's November and I'm already excited to hit the ground running in January to work towards these goals and make really big things happen in 2021. And I want the same for you. But like I said, if you're waiting until January to start planning, you're already going to be behind. So it's why we're having this conversation today. And it's why I hope that you're excited for what's to come in 2021, because we have a lot of really big things planned. But that's all I have for you today. So if you have not already joined our waitlist, you need to get on it. We are doing some really cool things behind the scenes with my course, Proffitt Podcasting, and the membership, the Potty People. We're almost there. We're almost there in being able to unveil all of the cool things that we're working on. But I am really just It's going to be so good. Oh, it's going to be so good. And I know that you're going to be excited about it. I know I've shared a few teasers, but we're going to have some podcast auditing where I can get my eyes on your podcast and some other fun hot seats and group coaching and tech libraries and I'm really excited. So go to crystalproffitt.com/waitlist to get on the waitlist, or you can go to the show notes, crystalproffitt.com/episode 205 to check out all the things that we talked about today. But that's all I have for you today. So remember, keep it up. We all have to start somewhere. Hey, Proffitt Podcast listeners. Thanks for sticking around to a little bit after the episode to hear this special message, because I want to hear from you. We are starting a new segment called Fan Mail Shoutouts, and I want to hear from you, and I want to hear your questions. What do you want to know? What questions have you been dying to ask me? So here's how to make this happen. Go to the app where you're listening to this podcast right now. Go there. I'll wait a second. Okay. Now, once you're there, you're going to see a hyperlink at the top of the episode description that says, send Crystal a text message. And that's all I want you to do. Send me a text. It could be casual, informal. It could be totally anonymous. Or if you want, you can include your name and the name of your podcast or content wherever you are creating, and I will give you a special shout out in an upcoming episode. So again, go to the show notes for where you're listening to this episode right now, and it will say, send Crystal a text message. And I cannot wait to hear from you and give you a shout out in an upcoming segment of Fan Mail Shoutouts.